I am Vanessa and I live in a van and her name is Treasure. How are you guys doing today? Come on in and thumbs up the video if you are my friend. So today a video came out on the channel about buying a van from auction. And so I am here to talk about buying a vehicle from Vanlife. A lot of you guys are searching for a vehicle. And I just want to give you some advice and help you out. Y'all, thumbs up the video when you first come in and let me know that you are here. The comments on my live streams are disabled, but you can leave lots of comments on the live stream and on all of my videos after the live streams are over with. So please do leave some comments on the videos after the live streams are over with and let me know that you were here. My hair is a hot mess. So anyway, yeah, I am here to give you some advice on purchasing a vehicle for van life. You can also use these tips for purchasing a vehicle like in real life, not just van life, if you're in market and in need of a vehicle. So with everything else that I always tell you guys, you have to ask yourself like the why in order to determine the how. Like, why do you want to do van life? And that's going to determine how you do van life. Like, why do you want to do van life? You just want to do van life to just travel every now and then on the weekend? Do you want to do van life to live in your van permanently? Are you going to have another homestead? Are you going to have somewhere else to live, somewhere else to reset? All of that is going to determine like what kind of vehicle that you need. What kind of vehicles are you used to driving? Are you used to driving small cars? Have you ever driven a van before? Some people like think, oh, I can't drive a van. Yes, you can drive a van. If you drive a small vehicle, it is not hard to drive a van. It's not more trouble to drive a van. You can drive a van. If you drive a car, you can drive a van. Once you drive a van or a truck, you will never, ever, ever want to go back to a smaller vehicle again. Like, I can't imagine looking down and it's just so much better. It's so much better being higher up in a van, and it's very easy to drive a van. It's nothing hard about driving a van, so don't worry about that. But if you are looking for vehicles and you're scared to drive a van, just go to a dealership and test drive a van. So a lot of you are like wanting to find a vehicle to do van life in. And y'all saying, I can't find a van. I can't find a van. What is your budget? Like, what is your budget? Are you paying cash for a van? Are you having a vehicle financed? You can probably get a better deal on a vehicle if you pay cash because you can go to auctions and purchase a vehicle from auction. A lot of mom and pop dealers go to auctions to buy the vehicle, and they know that a lot of people don't have the money to pay for a vehicle outright, and then they know some people do have the money to pay for a vehicle outright. They just don't know about auctions. So you kind of get taken advantage of by going to a mom and pop dealership because they're going to charge you at the Kalamazoo in interest. They're going to charge you at the Kalamazoo in interest. So sometimes it's better to just sit on your money, save your money, make that money work for you, and go start looking for vehicles. Like, you will never know what you can afford if you don't start looking. Sometimes you have this idea in your head and you're like, I can't afford a van because I'm going to these mom and pop dealerships and you're seeing this extreme amount that they're charging for these vehicles. Say for instance, like the place that I went to on 45, and it's like on 45 in Little York, and they sell those box trucks for like $30,000. I just took y'all to an auction today where they sell the box trucks for, and they sell them at auction, and those box trucks actually went out for like $10,000, $11,000, $12,000. So can you imagine how much more money you're paying? You're paying almost $20,000, and that's before financing. Like they're charging $33,000 before financing. So you're probably going to end up paying like $40,000, $50,000 for that vehicle, and you could have went to the auction and you could have bought it for $10,000 cash. That's a big difference, y'all. Save your money. Get out there, price stuff, learn about stuff. A lot of people today that watched today's video was like, oh my goodness, Vanessa, thank you so much. I didn't know nothing about the auctions. There are a lot of auctions. This particular auction, Ritchie Brothers, they have them in different states. They have them in, I think they have one in Vegas. They have one in I think they have one in Atlanta. But go on their site because they have auctions in different states. So they have one in Vegas. I think they have one in Florida. So you could possibly have one in a state near you. Or what you could do is you could go online and you can bid on what you want. And then once you win the bid, you can catch a flight down there, catch a bus down there, and go drive your vehicle back. Whatever you have to do to save money, you guys, do that. Whatever you have to do to save money, do that. Now, I did notice, because I went on the site myself, and I did notice like some areas, their vehicles are going out for more money at the auction than it did in Texas, because like they might have a, what's the word for it? It's a buyer's market and it's more competitive in that city. So to save more money, I would personally bid on the ones in Texas and make my way down here knowing that I'm going to bid on one of these vehicles and I'm going to win the auction for that. Bid on it. I would come down here, if you could, come down here, look at it, see it. Take a week, the week that you know that they're going to be an auction down here in Texas. Take a week, come down here, stay at a hotel or stay at a family members and friends. Go see the vehicle, bid on the vehicle, have the money with you, pay for the vehicle, and then drive away with it and leave it. Take it with you. But then if you could save like $3,000 to $5,000 by coming to Texas, then come to Texas and save that $3,000 to $5,000, or go to one. If you don't want to do that and they have an auction in your city and your state, then go ahead and just bid on it in your city and state. Either way, buying it from an auction, you're going to save more money. You're going to save more money than going buy it from a mom and pop dealership, because $30,000 for a van versus $10,000. I mean, $30,000 for a box truck versus $10,000 for a box truck. And the van that I showed you guys today, there was an same exact van on Craigslist for $37,000 used. $37,000 used. But the van that I showed you today sold at auction for $13,000. It sold at auction for $13,000. So that is a big difference. You gonna go buy a van to be financed for $37,000, or you're gonna go and buy a van at auction for $13,000. Like, why give people your money? And there are a lot of auctions throughout the city and throughout the state. A lot of banks that repo vehicles, they sell their vehicles at auction. They sell their vehicles at auctions. All vehicles that are repo are sold at auctions because the bank got paid off on that vehicle, and now they turn around, they make double money because they got the money from the customer till the customer decided not to pay them no more. Then the vehicle was insured. So once the vehicle got repoed, the insurance paid them off on that. And then they turn around and sell the vehicle at auction. It's like they're getting paid for that vehicle 3 times. So they are making bukus of money. And so they don't mind selling that vehicle at auction to get rid of it. The bank don't have no need for that vehicle anymore, and that's why dealerships go to auctions and they buy the vehicles at auctions, especially the repos. So you guys need to find out in your city and state, where do your banks auction off their vehicles that are repoed, and you can find any kind of vehicle that you're looking for. You can find it at an auction. So that's going to be my tip for that, to just make sure you're doing your research, you're finding out different auctions in your area, and almost all auctions let you start the vehicle. You can't drive it. Some auctions actually drive the vehicle during the auction, and they let you see that the vehicle is running. Yes, you are taking a chance on a vehicle by buying it from an auction, but you're also taking a chance on a vehicle by buying it from a dealership, a mom and pop dealership, because it's still as is. You're still buying the vehicle as is. So you kind of have to know your stuff. You kind of have to know vehicles, you guys. I have bought several vehicles. I know what to look for when buying a vehicle. I change my own oil. I check my own oil on my vehicle. I know to check the oil. I know to start the vehicle and look at the exhaust part, the muffler, and make sure there's not a lot of smoke coming out there. Put your hand up there, make sure there's not any moisture coming out of there. So yeah, it's a lot you have to learn, even if you're going to be a female purchasing a vehicle. You have to learn your stuff. And a lot of people that are selling vehicles, when they see you coming as a female, they like, oh, I'm gonna get her, but then when you start asking questions, like it was this one man that me and Miss Charlene, and Miss Pauline, when we went looking for vehicles, once I started asking all them questions, they was getting uncomfortable. How are you going to sell a vehicle, but you don't want a person to ask you questions about it? So you have to know your stuff. You have to know what questions to ask. And it doesn't matter if you make that person uncomfortable by asking questions. You need to know the answers to those questions. And if they can't answer the questions if they can't answer your questions, and they are the ones selling the vehicle and they're saying that they were the owner of the vehicle, don't buy a vehicle from them. Like, I don't care how good of a deal it looks. Don't buy the vehicle from them if they can't answer the questions, because they shady like Grady. So check out auctions in your area. Don't be scared to, if you live in a little small town or a little small city and there's not that much going on in your city and your state, don't be afraid to go to other cities, other states, broaden your horizons. If you're looking for a vehicle on Craigslist and your town is so small, don't be scared to make your search a little bigger to the next biggest city and look for a vehicle. Don't be scared to look for vehicles and see what other states have to offer. And if you live in a vehicle that's near water, if you live in a town that's near water, if you live in a town where there's a lot of snow, you might want to go and look for a vehicle out of state anyway. Like a place like Texas, you're not going to have to worry about a vehicle having a lot of rust on it. But if you buy a vehicle from a city and a state where there is a lot of water, there's salt water, or there's a lot of snow, then you really, really, really need to do your due diligence and check and make sure that vehicle doesn't have a lot of rust on it. So especially if you're buying for van life, you might live in a city and a state where there's a lot of snow, but now you're going to be traveling, and you're going to be traveling all over the country, and you're not necessarily going to be in a place where there is a lot of snow or a lot of water. So if I were you, I would go buy my vehicle out of state. Unless you're buying a new vehicle, I would buy my vehicle out of state where that state doesn't have a history of a lot of water. So that's another advantage to coming to Texas or going to another state that doesn't have a lot of water. So that's just another little tip. If y'all have any questions pertaining to um, buying a vehicle, leave it in the comments bar below. Now, this is off topic. Let me say this, because a lot of people are leaving comments on the channel. I have no idea why. A lot of you guys are asking me, do I still have my trailer? For the millionth time, I still own my camper trailer. I haven't sold my camper trailer. I haven't gotten rid of my camper trailer. I have no plans of getting rid of my camper trailer. I still have my camper trailer. I hope that answers your question. I guess I'm going to have to say that in every single video. I still have my camper trailer. If you don't know what happens to my camper trailer and you haven't watched in a while, go back and binge watch some videos on the channel. I still have my camper trailer. Okay? So also, you guys, if you want a vehicle for van life, even if you're broke, even if you don't have the money, even if you do not have one dime, start doing your research, start looking at videos, start checking out Craigslist, start seeing what kind of vehicles are out there, start getting a feel and an idea of what kind of vehicle would be best for you to do van life in. Start going to dealerships, start going to RV parks and looking at the RVs and seeing how the RVs are decked out. Go start looking at vehicles that people are selling on Craigslist. Go start people that have built out their vans. Go start going to festivals and stuff for, go to the RTR in your car. Go to the RTR in your car every year. Go to the RTR, see other people's vehicles, see what they're living in, see what they're surviving in, so you could get an idea of what kind of vehicle you can live in. You could do a lot with a little, and don't be overwhelmed when you see a van bill and be like, well, I can't do a van bill. You don't have to live in a van and do a van bill. You can get your van and throw a mattress in there, throw a chest of drawer up in there, throw a chair up in there, and call it a day. You don't have to go all extravagant and go all out with it. You can live in your van with what you have. So, that's just what I recommend. I recommend you looking for a vehicle, even though you broke, even though you don't have the money. I recommend you doing your research. I recommend you finding out where auctions are. I recommend, if at all possible, for you to pay cash for the vehicle and not to go buy the vehicle from a little mom and pop dealership that bought that vehicle at auction. You can do the same thing they can do. You can buy that vehicle at auction. You can save you by $10,000 to $15,000 to $20,000, because they're gonna mark it up, then they're gonna finance it, and you're gonna be paying out the Kalamazoo. Save your money, save your pennies. Pennies add up. Save your money, save your pennies. Cut back on anything that you can cut back on in your real life. Cut back on your expenses. Cut back on eating out. Cut back on just eating sweets and candy and stuff that you don't need, and chips. Cut all that stuff out of your diet in order to save money, and you will be surprised at how much money you can save just by cutting back on a few expenses, cutting back on a few splurges that you have. If you go get your nails done, if you go get a manicure, a pedicure, a facial, go, you have spa days, but you have a goal for something that you really, really want in life that will be a substantial purchase, cut that stuff out. Girl, I ain't going nowhere to get no manicure. I ain't going nowhere to get no pedicure. I ain't buying no weave. I'm going to twist this hair up and we going to roll with what we got, okay? Yes, I did splurge on some clothes this year. The splurging is over with. Yes, the splurging is over with. When y'all see me do a review on products and stuff like that, 9 times out of 10, I got those products for free from the company. So just because you see me doing product reviews doesn't mean that I spent money on those products. When I do the Laura Gale shopping haul, those clothes were sent to me from Laura Gale for 100% free. Like, almost every review you see me doing, the company, when I was at Miss Charlene them house and I got the mattress, from that company for 100% free. The curtains that I had in Miss Charlene's room, I got those curtains for free. A lot of stuff in her room. When I redid the room, I did purchase that stuff with my own money because I gifted those things to Miss Charlene as her Christmas gift, and some things she also paid for herself. So, but when I'm doing a product review, the fan that I had in Miss Charlene's room, the mirror that I had in Miss Charlene's room, those things were gifted to me for free from the companies. So whenever you guys see me doing a review on the product, if I didn't say that I paid for this and this is how much I paid for it, then 9 times out of 10, that was a gift from the company. So you may still see me doing reviews and you're going to be like, well, Vanessa, I thought you say you were saving money. Yes, I am saving money. I have companies reach out to me every day to do reviews. I have had over 6 companies in the last 2 days reach out to me to do reviews. I don't say yes to every single review. It has to be something that I want. It has to be something that lines up with what I want to post on my channel. So I don't say yes to every single company that reaches out to me. And it has to be something in it for me. I'm just not going to review a product and I don't need the product. So I just want to encourage you guys, for those of you, thumbs up the video if you haven't already, please. For those of you who want to do van life, for those of you who want a vehicle, don't rush. The best thing that could ever happen to you is you being broke right now and not having the money for the vehicle, because you can take your time, you can educate yourself, and you can make an informed decision when you do have the money. And because you went shopping for a vehicle, now that you're broke, you have dotted your I's and crossed your T's, and now you are going to make a decision that is going to be a wise decision because you are not in a rush. Like right now, I don't have the money to go out and buy the vehicle that I want to purchase, but I'm still looking. I'm still searching. I'm still getting my ducks in a row. I'm still educating myself. I'm still deciding what kind of vehicle I want. I am still undecided. I don't know if I want a van. I don't know if I want a box truck. I don't know if I want a truck to put the camper on the back. I don't know what it is I want right now. So the best thing for me is not to have no money, because if I had the money, I would probably go out and buy something, and whatever decision I made You know, sometimes we do something and we be like, oh, well, that's the decision I made, and we just accept that that was the decision we made. But that doesn't mean that that was the best decision. Just because you made that decision, don't mean that was the best decision. The best decision you can make is making a decision before you have the money, narrowing it down, figuring it all out, not being in a rush, praying about it, talking to God about it, and doing your research. Please, 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 please do your research. Don't rush. Ask questions to the seller. Ask them a lot of questions. Find out what kind of questions you need to ask. I'm going to give you guys some tips on questions to ask the seller. Ask the seller if they were the original owner of the vehicle. If they were the original owner of the vehicle, if they bought that vehicle used, ask them how many miles did the vehicle have on it when they bought it. Ask them if they've ever changed a transmission or a motor out on the vehicle. If a motor or a transmission has been changed out on a vehicle, that pretty much lets you know that that vehicle have had some problems. If they've changed the transmission, that pretty much lets you know that the motor is probably not far gone. But if it's a vehicle that is built out already and a motor needs to be changed in it, then it might be worth it to change the motor in the vehicle because it's built out already. Like if something happened to my van tomorrow and the motor went out and I still wanted this particular van because it's already built out, I would just go ahead and change the motor. I would just go ahead and change the transmission. But for me, I'm not willing to do that to this van because I want another van that I can stand up in. But like Chrome with Van City Van Life, he loves his van. He's invested a lot of money in the build out of that van. So he changed the transmission in his van. Can't remember if he changed the motor, but he has done a lot of work on that van. Why? Because that van is already built out and that is his prized possession, and he loves his van just the way it is. So it may be worth it to you to get a transmission or a motor changed in the vehicle, but it may not be worth it to you if that's not your long-term vehicle and you're not in love with it anyway. So you don't want to buy somebody else's problems. If somebody else has had motor problems, engine problems, transmission problems, you don't want to buy somebody else's problems. But sometimes you may not have a choice. Like when I bought this van for $1,300, I pretty much knew for $1,300, it's got to be something wrong with it, or I'm going to have to put some money in it, or it's going to need some work done on it, like the front end work done. Like if I sell this van to somebody, they may get this van at a good price, especially with all the solar and the built out on it, but they're going to have to invest money on like the front end work that needs to be done. And it's either, but you can still drive the van for now until you could afford to do that. Sometimes you have to make a decision to buy something just to get you where you need to be. So the $1,300 that I spent on this van, even though I was buying somebody else's problems, even though I was buying something else that somebody else was getting rid of, they considered it to be a problem to them. Even though I was buying somebody else's problem, it was worth it to me. Somebody left a comment on the channel and say, Vanessa, how long have you been doing van life? On June the 30th of this year, I'm going to be doing van life for 3 years in this van. So this van has given me 3 years of service for $1,300, which was the initial payout. It was $1,300. I've spent more money than that on this van over the years, over time, but this is my home. You have to spend money on your home to keep it going, to continue to live in it. So you can buy something to begin with to get started. But if you have enough money to go to an auction and buy a vehicle from the auction, please, by all means, do that. If you're not in a rush to do van life, save, 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 save. Everything that you have, just start saving and let that money grow over time. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. I hope this video was helpful. I wish you guys all the best in your search for buying a vehicle, for starting van life. Do your research. For every question that you have, there is a video on YouTube about that subject. Type the subject in and go do your research. Don't expect people to answer every little question that you have. Don't expect people to drop everything that they're doing for their lives to accommodate you and to help you. Invest in what you want to know and go watch videos on YouTube back to back to back to back. It don't matter. It don't matter what you want to know. Go watch videos, go take notes, and act on what you want to know. Like a lot of people say, I want to do this and I want to do that and I want to do this, and all they do is talk for years. They never act on it. Act on what it is that you, when you go watch videos and you find out information, go act on that information. Don't just keep saying, I want to do this and I want to do that and I want to do this, and you never, ever, ever do anything. Act on what you want. There are going to be people out there that don't believe in you, that don't see your vision, that's going to tell you you can't do what you want to do. It was plenty of people in my real life telling me, you don't need to live in a van. It was plenty of people in my real life telling me you can't live in a van. It was plenty of people in my real life telling me you can't build out a van. It was plenty of people in my real life telling me you don't know what you're doing. Here I am today, and I proved them all wrong. Number one, I can build out a van. Number two, I do know what I'm doing because I'm going to educate myself. Maybe I didn't know what I was doing at first, but I went watch YouTube videos and I educated myself. I did my solar. I did my water. I put a stove in here. I have a refrigerator in here. I built everything out in this van with my own hands. I did it all myself. But had I listened to the people that didn't believe in me, that didn't have faith in me, and couldn't see my vision, had I listened to those people, I would still be sitting back saying, I want to do van life. Had I listened to the people that say, you don't have the money for a van and you ain't gonna never get a van, had I not decided, and I learned from my mistakes. And sometimes we make the same mistakes over and over again. I learned that, there were times when I may have had money that came through my hands and I didn't think it was enough to buy a van. So I went spend a little bit here and a little bit there buying other things that I needed, instead of saying, okay, well, maybe this might not be enough to buy a van, but let me set it to the side and maybe one day I'll get some more money to add with it. So your situation may seem bleak, but don't, I was talking to somebody the other day and the lady was telling me, I'm going to look out for you and I'm going to see if somebody wants to give you a tiny home. And I was like, really? Like, this lady came out of nowhere that I don't even know. And she was like, I might find somebody that wants to give you a tiny home. And I'm like, somebody gonna give me a tiny home? So I say that to say this, y'all. You never know. You got to keep a positive outlook on life. Like, you never know what God have for you. Somebody might come out the clear blue sky and give you a car, or such a good deal on a car might come by, and because you had $1,000 or $2,000 and you didn't think it was enough and you went and spent it, the deal of a lifetime might come right in front of you. And then you're gonna be wishing, I woulda, I coulda, I shoulda. I wish I woulda saved the money so I could buy this van. Save your money, even if it's $10 and you don't think, oh, well, I can't buy a van with $10. No, you cannot buy a van with $10, but you could take that $10 and save it. And that $10 could add up to be $10,000. Keep saving. Keep saving. And don't give up. And don't listen to people. Please, 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 please. Don't listen to people. If people never have nothing good to say out of their mouth, if people are not positive people, if people are not encouraging people, motivating people, creative people, girl, don't listen to them people. I don't care what them people have. They might have got what they got from robbing, killing, and stealing. Obviously, they didn't get nothing from ingenuity, hard work, perseverance, and faith. Because a person that has faith the size of a mustard seed, the person that has accomplished things that other people told them they couldn't accomplish, they will tell you, you could do it. You could do it. Don't give up. Don't give in, and don't listen to other people telling you what you cannot do. Believe in yourself. It's nobody else's job to believe in you. It's nobody else's job to encourage you, to motivate you, to pat you on the back, to tell you you can do it, to pick you up, to wipe your nose, to wipe your tears, and tell you get up and go for it. It's nobody's job to do that. But it's everybody's job to stick their nose in your business and tell you what you can't do, and tell you that you're not good enough, that you're a nobody, and that you are never going to accomplish anything in life. It's everybody's job to tell you, to beat you up and to tear you down, but it's nobody's job to encourage you and to motivate you. So you got to be your own motivational your own motivation. You got to be your own encouragement. You got to give your own self a pep talk. You got to believe in yourself, and you got to tell the devil you are a liar and the truth ain't in you, and you don't have nothing to prove to anybody else, but you have everything to prove to yourself. Don't go through life trying to prove people wrong. Don't go through life only doing things to show people, ha ha, nah, nah. No. Prove it to yourself. Do it for yourself. Do it for you. Do it for you, girl. Because you deserve the best. Because you can overcome any obstacle that the devil put in your way. Because you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. Do it for you. And don't listen to the devil. Don't listen to the devil. The devil always tell me what I can't do. And the devil always be wrong. Why? Because the devil is a liar and the truth ain't in him. The devil is a liar. The devil never gonna tell you you got this. The devil never gonna tell you you could do this. The devil never gonna tell you you could go buy a van. You could do your own van bill. The devil never gonna tell you this. But Vanessa gonna tell you you can do it. Why can you do it? Because I did it. God is no respect of persons. What he does for one person, he can do for you. All you have to do is have faith the size of a mustard seed, and you can move mountains. The devil is putting mountains in your way through the people in your life who telling you you can't. They don't see anything good in you. And the reason why they don't see anything good in you, because they don't have anything good in them. Because the people in your life should be the first people that are rooting you on, that are telling you you could do this. When you have people in your life that can't tell you you could do something, them people ain't for you. Them people is not for you. Some people come around you and pretend that they are for you. They are not for you. When somebody don't have nothing good to say just because you ain't did what they want you to do, or you ain't doing it the way that they want you to do it, they not for you. You have to learn the hard way. You know, I had somebody tell me years ago, if you would have did this for me and if you would have did that for me, I would be willing to help you. And I'm like, wow, I'm so glad I didn't do what you wanted me to do. Because the only reason why you helped me is if I would have did this for you. No, I'm so happy I didn't do that. I'm so glad I didn't do that. I'm so glad I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish in life without your help. Now I know that who you are, and you're not my friend. You don't have my back. Now that I know that, you could keep it moving. Don't tell me what you could have did. Don't tell me what you would have did. You didn't, and I'm glad that you didn't. And I still got accomplished what I needed to get accomplished, and it's all good. So anyway, y'all, thumbs up the video. Thank y'all for 26 thumbs up, 47 people in the house. If you're watching the replay, make sure you thumbs up the video. And I'm going to end the live. So after the live stream is over with, please leave lots of comments on the video. Let me know if it was helpful to you. Let me know if you have any other additional questions about purchasing a vehicle for van life. Let me know that in the comments bar below, and let me know if any of the tips have been helpful to you in purchasing a video. Let me know what tip that I gave you that was very helpful to you, and let me know if y'all went ahead and bought a vehicle and you used any of the tips that I have told you. Let me know if you actually went and purchased a vehicle. And if you haven't watched a vehicle on the channel today, I went to a local auction in Houston, or in Humble, Texas, which still is kind of Houston. And you haven't seen that video, go check that video out. It's a lot of tips in that video on how to purchase a vehicle from auction. And if you are in Texas and you want a van for van life, you might need to consider that auction. They will be having another auction in June or July, and another one in December. So make sure you keep a lookout for the auctions there. That is probably where I'm going to go get one of my vehicles from in the future. I don't know when. I don't know if I'm going to end up purchasing a vehicle this year, or I might wait till next year, you guys. I'm really not in any rush. Yes, I want a new vehicle, but I'm really not in any rush, and it's going to be all in God's timing. When I get the money to buy a vehicle, that's when I'm going to buy a vehicle. I don't have the money to buy a vehicle now. I could probably afford some kind of vehicle right now if I needed to, but I don't want to just settle for any kind of vehicle. So I want to save and continue to save until I can get the vehicle that I want, something that I can stand up in. And again, I am very unsure right now what type of vehicle that I want. I don't know if I want a van. I don't know if I want a box truck. I don't know if I want to go get a truck and put a camper on the back of it. So I am really, really, really unsure right now. And so I'm just praying about it. I'm doing my research, and I'm just going to continue to save and let God, let whatever's for me, he's going to allow it to come to fruition. And when the time is right, I'll know it. When the time is right for things, y'all, you will know it. Don't go out and just keep trying to make something happen. When you keep trying to make something happen, you end up getting something that wasn't meant for you. I have seen so many people be impatient and try to make something happen, and they end up with something that was not ever intended for them. God didn't intend that for you, but you wanted it so bad, you went out and made something happen. And so, yeah, I want to encourage you guys to just take your time, to be patient, do your research, and continue to save, and continue to, if van life is something you really want to do, start purging, start having garage sales, start getting rid of all the stuff that you know you're not going to need, and start making steps toward van life, even though you don't have the vehicle yet. That's what I did. And that's all I can encourage you to do. You don't have to do it the way that I did it, but if you don't know how to do it and you want some advice, that's how I'm going to tell you to do it. Start taking baby steps. Start selling stuff. Start purging stuff. Start going look for vehicles. Start going test drive vehicles. Just get your feet wet. Watch as many van life videos as you can. Watch as many van build videos as you can. And just, knowledge is power. Over saturate yourself with knowledge. Too much knowledge can't hurt you. The more knowledge you have, the better decision you're going to make. So anyway, that's going to be it for me. Don't forget to like, comment on the video after the live stream. Share this video with somebody if you think it's going to be helpful to them. And I will talk to you guys later. I appreciate you and I love all of you. Bye now. Thanks for watching. See y'all later. Let me know y'all was in here by leaving a comment.